Let's see, now, got a problem here, Rob. Can't get the camera up high enough. Okay, so welcome everybody to day one. Day one of our Google Drive. Okay, day one, now. To day one of Google Drive. And hello, Victoria. Nice to see you. Sorry for the delay. There was a nice article written about the school in the Las Vegas Sun over the weekend. And we decided we needed to post comments to it because it wasn't complete. You know, we encourage everybody in Santa Fe Springs and Long Beach to go to the article. I think you can find it on Google+. Go to the article and post a comment, because what you do in LA or Long Beach and Santa Fe Springs is not reflected in the article at all. And I think it would be good for people in California to say, we go to Larson and this is our experience, and Crystal is great, and Rose is great, and you know, all of that good stuff. And Victoria, I think you can do a lot also to talk about that you did here more than once, or this is your brush up from the past, or you know, repolishing the skills you learned. So I apologize, the time just got away from us, and but the place to go would be Las Vegas Sun. If you can't find it on Google+, Las Vegas Sun, and then put in my last name, and the article will pop up. Okay, and then you can read the comments that we have written about it. So, having said that, we've got 15 minutes to talk about Google Drive. Does anybody here in Las Vegas know about Google Drive? Okay, this should be the second time around. Now, who here was not here when we did Google Drive the first time? Mike, okay. Bill isn't here, but he wasn't here. Sam? Right, Sam. Yeah. Okay, so Google Drive is a true Google Cloud app. Email is a cloud app, but it's not just a true cloud app. That was before. Calendar isn't really, maps aren't really, they are cloud apps, but they were applications with Google before the cloud. Drive is truly a cloud app, and it does multiple things. So the simple thing is, one is it's an online storage. Another one is it's a way to create documents and spreadsheets online without having Microsoft Office. So that means you could be at any computer that has internet access, create documents. It's also a database, a way to create data documents. And yes, Victoria, I know that Sean did not bring the Starbucks cards. I'm looking at Sherry. She's going to make sure that Rose has the ability to get them, or Crystal. So I promise you will have those by Wednesday. I can promise you will have them by Wednesday. So Google Drive is an online storage. It's a way to create documents and spreadsheets. It's a database, and it is collaborative. So let me go through those things separately. It's online storage. Currently, everybody gets how much? 330 gigabytes? Or what are your accounts saying, Google Drive? Go to Google Drive, lower left-hand corner. You might say 5 gigabytes.
It says 0.25 gigabytes, 1% of 15 gigabytes.
Okay, so everybody gets 15 gigabytes of storage. This is your personal all-time storage. As long as you have this account, you will have 15 gigabytes of storage. You can put any file, you can save any file on there. Anytime you get to the internet, you can access your files. It is safe and secure, or at least as safe and secure as the password that you use for your Google account. If you don't have a safe and secure password, or you don't keep your password safe and secure, you're not going to have security. But you should feel safe and secure that Google spends billions of dollars or hundreds of millions of dollars in security. And Google would not exist if they were not stable and secure. Now, if you're a person that the NSA is of interest to the NSA, then it's not good enough for you. But, you know, it's not designed to keep James Bond out. So if you are that type of person that you're concerned about the NSA looking at what you do, or you're concerned about James Bond getting into your accounts, then Google is not for you. But for the rest of us, Google is very safe, very secure. You should have nothing to worry about regarding Google. And if you are, don't not use Google, just don't put any of those documents on Google that you're afraid of. I have my kids' birth certificates, their social security cards, pictures of them. I've scanned them and I have them on my Google Drive. My car registration, any documents like that that I would be concerned about losing in a fire, I have on my Google Drive. I'm not concerned about it.
So if I have it on your Google Drive, if you need them, that means you can print a copy of them, right?
Correct. And I can pull it up on my smartphone. Like, let's say I lost my driver's license.
Okay.
And I needed it. Even though I know a police officer is going to say a picture of your driver's license on your smartphone is not your driver's license. But at least he has my number, and if he wanted to be helpful, he could say, you know what, okay, go to the DMV, get your new license, do whatever, but he's going to see that I have a license.
They're doing the insurance cards now through some of the insurance companies are doing it electronically.
Okay, so yeah, they're doing insurance cards, they're doing things.
I think it was.
For the movie theater, I have a card for the movie theater, but now they have it so you can just scan it, Starbucks, all of that. And you know what? This is the tip of the iceberg. So Google Drive is as safe and secure as your password. If you have a weak password, or if you don't keep it safe and secure, then you don't have a lot of security.
Paper with the food on it.
I'm sorry, Stephanie, we didn't quite get that. What about the food on the plate?
Oh, sorry. I was looking for a piece of paper and I think one of my students took it.
Oh, and they used it to put food on?
Yes.
Okay, got it, okay. So Google Drive is safe and secure. You have access to your documents anytime. You can share them. One of the great things about Google Drive is you can share your documents. Now let's move on to the second thing, which is it's like Microsoft Office. It's not as good as Word. Google Docs is not as good as Word, but you know what? It's good enough for almost anything that you would do. And one of the great things about Google Docs is the ability for people to be sharing a document, to be collaborating on a document in real time. That is fantastic for work, for a lot of people at work, especially if you're in an organization you're involved in selling things, or you have to create a document that you need to submit and other people need to look at it. Everybody could be looking at it at the same time. I guess if you're an entertainer, you're writing lyrics for a song, Google Docs would be a good tool. And how do I know that? How do I know that, Israel? What was the commercial?
About Maneater.
Correct.
Yeah.
Hall & Oates
Hall &
song.
Oates.
Google has a little commercial about Hall & Oates writing the words, the lyrics to the song Maneater. And it really does work that well.
And it shows which person.
Yeah, it makes it clear who's adding what, when, where. And another thing about Google Docs that's very good is it keeps great track of all of the revisions you make to a document. So you can, Well, if you change it.
The good thing also is that it automatically saves everything too.
And that's another point, is it automatically is always
Because I've
saving
done-
everything you do. You
on
don't
Word, I've done
ever
it
have to
11
worry that you're going to create a document and oops, my computer
Done it many
failed, my
times.
hard drive failed, my whatever failed, the internet went out, well, if the internet goes out, you're going to lose connectivity, but anything that you had done is saved. You will never lose a document in Google Docs ever again. And then they have their version of Excel and their version of PowerPoint. Again, they're not as good, but they're good enough. You can get on the internet, create documents whenever you want,
In the drive, huh?
on the drive, share them with people. They can then work on them. You don't have to worry about losing anything. It's a great, powerful tool. And then the third one that we work on, which maybe we will do on Thursday, is Forms. Forms is a fantastic productivity tool. It's really a database, but it looks like it's a thing for people just to fill out a form. Okay? So for work, we can have forms for our customers, our suppliers, our fellow employees, prospective customers, prospective vendors, anybody we do business with, we can create a form and we can ask them, the other people, to fill it out, or we can use the form to fill out the information ourselves. At the Italian American Club here, for example, we have a form, an online registration form. If you want to join the Italian American Club, you fill out the form online. Well, some people at the club don't have internet access. They don't know how to use the internet. So they can't fill out the form. But one of our people can call them up on the phone and fill out the form for them while they're at it. All of the information goes into a central database, a document that looks like a spreadsheet. It can be downloaded to Excel and used as a spreadsheet. And it's just extremely powerful. It's a great way to gather information and be able to use it to sort it in different ways, use it in different ways to do different things. That is something that is better than Microsoft Office. Microsoft Office database is called Access, and it's you really have to learn how to use it. Forms, what you have to do is be able to picture the form in your head of what you want it to look like. And think in terms of being able to sort the information that you collect. For example, you can have a form that says name. Okay, and that could be your whole name, Ed Bevilacqua. Or it could say first name, last name. If it's first name, last name, I can sort it by first name or I can sort it by last name. If it's just name, it only sorts by my first name. It only sorts by Ed. And that wouldn't be convenient if I wanted to know what everybody's last names were. If I wanted to find somebody by their last name or sort by last name. The same thing with address. You can have one block that has their street address, the city, state, and zip, or you can have a separate block, a separate cell. It's called a record. A second record that's just street, city, another one street, another one city, another one state, another one zip. So I could sort information by all of those. For the Italian American Club, they want to know how many members are in state and how many are not in state. If you have one block, one record that's just address and it includes all of that, you can't sort people by state. And then you think about any other fields that you want to know information, or that you might want to know information, like what part of Italy is your family from? How long have you lived in Las Vegas? Are both of your parents Italian? All kinds of different things. So those are the 4 parts of Google Drive. Well, let's see, I guess that's actually 3 parts. Storage, the Microsoft Office thing, and the database. that we're going to be talking about this week. So tomorrow, we're going to go and set up our drive. And the important thing is, as we have a poster here, and you have a poster in Santa Fe Springs, the way things start is the way they end. If you don't start out your Google Drive the best way, it's just going to get worse and worse and worse. And that means how you have your files structured. So, I recommend you have certain files, one directory for personal. It's just called personal, one folder called personal. And then inside of your personal file, you could have subfolders. In your personal folder, you have subfolders like important documents.
And Word docs.
You could have Word docs, things about your kid's school, anything that has to do with you
So you
personally.
can put folders inside of folders?
Yeah, those. So you have your folder, and then you have subfolders. So if you think of what we do on Friday when you upload, you've got to go one LTCLV, then you go to student, and it's like 6 layers deep, levels deep, subfolders we have in there. So the idea is to structure it right. So another folder would be employment planning. And then in your employment planning, we have subfolders. Prospective employers, my resume, my cover letters, things like that. We've gone through that a couple weeks ago. We'll do it again. And then you have your school assignments, and you might have them broken down, Word, white papers, medical terminology, etc. So you have them structured so it's easy to find. But what did Google start as?
Gmail.
Nope. Search engine. So Google has taken their search engine technology and applied it to their apps, their cloud apps. And in Google Drive, if you did a lousy job setting up folders, you can still find every folder by putting in a search for that document. The key thing is you need to know something about the document. If you don't know when you wrote it, you don't know any what it's called, what's in it, pretty hard to find.
So if you make a folder, do you just remember your folder?
Correct. You know the general folder. And some people make a mistake if they have a separate folder for everything. They might have 150 folders. That's too much for my brain to do. Well, I think I have it like 4 or 5 primary folders. Each folder has maybe 4 or 5 subfolders. And I don't generally do it the way Rob set it up here with one LTC LV. How many folders are in there, Rob? Total LTC LV? Folders? Probably a lot. There's a lot because we have 3. We had 3 or 4 every week. We're testing it. So Google Drive is a very powerful tool. Think about it as something you're going to use for the next 50 years of your life.
To me, it's the most important app on all of them.
It's, well, okay, so for Scott, it's the most important app. I wouldn't say it's my most important app. However, I think in terms of, I have thousands of documents on there now. Am I ever really going to want to change and move it over to something else? That something else has to be really good. It has to be very easy and have a button, one click that says something like transfer every single one of your files from your Google Drive into this new thing and have it look exactly the same.
Can you transfer, once you put things into the drive, can you take it out and put it somewhere else?
Like where?
I don't know.
Any desktop.
Yeah, well, we download to our desktop all the time.
Yeah.
Right.
Right?
Well, I mean, I have a computer now, so I want to build my personal computer. I want all this information in my personal computer. So
Why?
So am I going to be able to keep my LTCLV, all the information and all the stuff? No.
You put it in your drive
Yes.
when you need it. You bring
Because
it
all you
out.
do is log on to your Chrome. Once you go onto Chrome, you're already signed in. You already have access to all of the things
And
on
I
your
will
drive.
forever, even after I leave.
Correct.
Yeah, and if you don't put it on your drive,
How
it's
about
going to
that?
just be on someone's desktop. Right?
What?
I said you got to put it in your drive and put it in the cloud, or it's going to slow down your desktop.
Yeah. So now, if you are going to insist that you just don't trust the cloud, I just don't trust it. I don't want my files there.
Either.
If Google burns to the ground, if that little cloud that my stuff is on and all the backup ones where my stuff is stored,
Which ain't never gonna
if
happen.
that disappears, I still want my files. Now, you might think of, if that happens, you probably aren't going to need your files. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah.
True that.
But some people say, I want my stuff, it's mine. I don't care if there's World War III, World War Z, and there's no internet. I don't care about that, I want my stuff. Well, the thing to do is don't store it on the hard drive on your computer, put it on a thumb drive.
Yeah.
You can take it with you.
Yeah, take it with you wherever you want. You can put it on your key ring, and it's with you wherever you go. Put it on a necklace if you want.
And you can still put it on the cloud and have it on.
And it's still on the cloud, and you still have it, but you don't need it in here. You know, think in terms of over the next 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, how many documents do you think you're going to want to save? Okay, so set up your drive. We want to set up our drives so that we're not going to have to, you know, we don't want to say, I don't need to worry about setting my drive up right today. There's always tomorrow.
Can you,
Yes, Scott. Yes.
Can you make a folder just like one folder like music and one movies? And can you download, upload a bunch of movies to the cloud?
Yes, you can.
So yeah, why wouldn't you
If
want
it's
to
a
do
file,
that?
you can. Now, lastly, in closing, because we're over time, Sherry and I were on a radio show yesterday. This is mainly for the people in California, because I think everybody here knows, right? Does anybody here not know we were on the radio yesterday?
You were on the radio yesterday?
You didn't know that?
He knows.
So this was on the mega station, mega talk show radio, AM talk station, 1400 K-Shop in Las Vegas.
You actually went to the studio?
Talk of the
Las
town.
Vegas.
The beat of Las Vegas.
Yeah, we're at the studio, and we are going to get a disc that has the audio version, and Marion called in and did very well. I would acknowledge Marion did well. You started out a little bit shaky, but then you sounded great in the middle and then to the end. But we did a YouTube hangout. We did a hangout on air, which was the behind the scenes of what was going on. And I think Scott was mentioned, Dodie was definitely mentioned, Bill was mentioned, I think Billy was mentioned, almost everybody here was mentioned that they know, that Ron and Leslie know was mentioned. So I encourage people in California to watch the full video, and you'll get a few laughs out of it. Sherry refuses to be on screen, but she did say a couple things. But mainly, she would write it down on a piece of paper and hand me the note. I'm not sure why. Yeah, really.
Camera shy. Camera shy.
So, but it was a lot of fun, and this week we have, what's happening this week? Oh, John Ponder's going to be here Thursday at 1. We'll do a hangout on air on that. Hope for Prisoners. Next Thursday at 10 o'clock, next Thursday at 10 o'clock, Father Max Oliva is going to be here talking about honesty in the workplace.
Did you already put all this on our calendars?
Yes, it is on the calendar.
Yeah.
You said this Thursday and next?
Next Thursday, Father Max is going to be here. This Thursday, John Ponder will be here from Hope for Prisoners. And then we're hoping on bringing some other people in on the 19th of July, not this Saturday, but next Saturday, not this Saturday, next Saturday. Tiger Todd will be doing Hero School here in the Learning Building.
Really?
Yeah.
What is
And
that?
what?
What is it?
Oh, you have to ask Billy.
It's
So
good.
that's a lot of
It
fun.
doesn't hurt to go.
And we just have a lot of good things happening for the school. We are now, congratulations to Sherry and Shannon. We are now getting people sentenced to go to school. So we're working with the courts here. They have sentenced the first person to come to school.
When did he start?
Wow, how
He
cool.
was here last week, one
Yeah,
day.
was sitting back there?
Yeah. Mexican guy, big
Oh,
mustache, sombrero.
Oh, yeah, it's fine.
That's the railroad.
That's mom?
That's my help.
That's mom.
Oh, you didn't have a sombrero? Oh, I thought he did. That's when it was really hot outside. Anyway, the first person has been sentenced to come to school. That's with the
great.
specialty courts here in Las Vegas. Last Thursday, when Shannon was there, she ran across the person from the municipal court, not the specialty courts, the actual municipal court. And they're anxious on sending people here. And this is the best time to get the, to have a second chance to get the education you didn't get the first time
From
around.
justice, municipal?
Yeah.
That's a good
What type
thing.
of sentencing is sent to school as opposed to paying?
So,
Well, they
Justice
might have to
People
pay
are on
also.
house
I'm
arrest.
sure they do.
Yeah.
They're not just sitting home playing Xbox.
Right, it's people,
and
that
not
would be
doing
house
anything
arrest,
else.
that's correct. So anyway, a lot of good things happening with the school.
blessed.
We're getting the message out there that society has an obligation to educate its people. The experts that are coming and looking at the school and kicking the tires are saying, yeah, we get it. This is something that's good. And so the credit goes to Rose, Crystal, Stephanie, Sherry, Shannon, and all of the students.
And you.
All of the students who were here that, Rob. Okay, Rob want to make a point. I mentioned
And
him.
tell us,
But you
and tell us,
blazed the trail with the
Well,
idea.
And our president, Brendan Shear, and of course Dale Larson, who started the school. And ironically, Crystal can tell this, or Rose can tell the story better, but his thing was so people could afford tennis shoes for their kids.
Right.
The parents, the dad, the mother, the dad, could afford to give their kids tennis shoes, buy their kids tennis shoes. So applying the Steve Jobs connect the dots backwards,
yeah,
we are in the downtown project, which is owned by who?
Zappos.
By Tony Hsieh, who's the president of Zappos, who made his money from the largest shoe seller in the world.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool. Anyway, thank you, everyone. We've gone over time. I appreciate it. And we'll see you tomorrow, and we'll work on getting the drive set up.
And we have a new student today.
Oh, great. Let's meet the new student.
Come on, Phyllis.
Does anybody know what Richard is? Richard?
Actually, Ed, we have one from this week and one from last week.
Oh, good. Great.
Okay, Ed, this is Phyllis.
Phyllis.
Hi, Ed.
Hello, Phyllis. How are you?
Hi.
Now, are you this week or are you from last week?
She's this week.
Okay. Tell us about yourself, Phyllis.
Oh, well,
Where do you live?
I live in Compton.
Okay.
I have twins. I'm married. My boys are 28. Well, they're men now.
Okay. And now let's see. Is anybody here from Compton? Where are you from, Malika?
I'm from Inglewood.
Inglewood. Isn't that near Compton?
Yeah.
Not really? Okay. Okay, so you're from Compton. All right. And which agency did you come in from?
What agency?
South Bay Weir, DOL.
Oh, UL? Okay.
OWC.
Who's your counselor?
Ann. Her name is Ann.
Annie Williams.
Oh, Annie Williams. Okay, great. Annie Williams. Okay, so were you a post office worker?
Yes, I was.
Okay, great. And for how long?
24 years.
24 years. So do you sit next to Victoria?
No, I haven't sat next to her.
Okay, because she's our union shop steward.
Okay. Nice.
Okay, great. So please send me an email so we can get your professional email account set up.
Okay.
Good. Thank you. Welcome.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Oh, come on.
Okay.
She's coming. Our next student is coming.
Okay. You're Long Beach?
No.
This is Maria.
Hello, Maria.
Hi.
How are you?
Fine, thank you. How are you?
Well. And where are you from? Where do you live?
I live in the city of Downey.
Downey. Does anybody here know where Downey is? Is that near Whittier?
Where?
Downey.
It's actually right next door to Santa Fe Springs.
Oh, okay. Okay. And how long have you lived in Downey?
About 15 years.
Okay. So you grew up in Downey.
Almost. Yeah, almost.
And what classes, what are you taking here at Larson?
Are you doing general office? What? Are you doing general office? I think she's doing general office clerk.
Good, great. General office. And your counselor is who? Or what agency did you come in from?
Richard Hunt.
Richard Hunt. Dr.
Yep.
Richard Hunt?
Yep.
Dr. Hunt,
Yep.
great. Well, welcome to Larson. Now, do you know much about the cloud?
No.
Good. Okay, good. So, I think you're going to have a lot of fun because of Crystal and Rose, and you're going to learn a lot. And just keep going at it. It's okay, and this is for everybody there, and I think everybody can tell you sometimes it's frustrating, sometimes it's confusing, sometimes it's not clear what's going on, and we call that welcome to life. So use this as the opportunity to learn, to use best practices and to perfect those things, so when you go to work, you're already much further along than everyone else. Okay, and please send me an email so that we can make sure you have your professional account. Okay? Does Stephanie have anybody new?
No, she'll be in on Wednesday, hopefully.
Okay, great. Terrific. Okay, well, thank you, everybody. I apologize for being late and going over, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye now.